Welcome to TempWorks video. The topic of this video is the TempWorks Web Center portal from a client perspective. When you have a client, one of the options you can do is offer them a self-service portal. By issuing them a username and password, they can go out to your website, click on a link, and be able to enter this Web Center portal. In the portal, some of the things that you can do from the home screen, your client can pick up messages that you've logged in TempWorks Enterprise. By logging a message using a particular action code of Web Center message, what you type into Enterprise will be visible to your customers. Your customer can reply to that message right from their portal. They can also view their information. Now, by clicking My Information, they've got the ability to update their email address, their password, and also set their notifications. Different actions that are taking place out in the web portal will promote an automatic notification via email to your customers. Your customers can choose which ones they would like to receive and not receive. Also, from the home screen, your clients are able to view their time cards and view their orders. Before we go any further, I would like to mention that each Web Center portal can be configured specifically to what you want your clients to see. It can also be configured right down to the individual processes for each person logging in. Things like you may be collecting time from one client, but not collecting time from another client. And right down to the individual. Certain individuals may be able to approve time for that customer, but other individuals are not able to. Something else that the client can do is with their orders. Now, they can view their orders right from the home screen, or they can simply click on the order icon at the top. With the orders, they can view their unfilled orders, their filled orders, their closed orders, etc. They can also view certain details of the orders. Now, again, this is configured to your specifications as far as what you want to expose to your clients. When selecting an order, over on the right-hand side, we can see the details of the order, the description, any contacts affiliated with that order, any assignments that we have already placed on that order, and again, this is specific to how it's configured. Also, with the orders, if you want to allow your customer to be able to copy an order, you can allow them to copy an order. When they copy the order, you decide what fields they're able to fill in. They can also view any candidates that are being considered for this order if you choose them to, and they can play a part in the selection process by changing the status of each of the candidates and putting in why. They might reject somebody because they don't have enough experience. Additionally, the client can enter time for this specific order. We'll get to time entry in just a few minutes. We can also allow the client to create their own purchase order numbers, to manage their own cost codes right from within their portal. Another option is allowing the client to see any employees that have or are working at their company. So this is everybody who is currently working and everybody who has ever worked for the company that Barbara Billings is affiliated with. Different options, we can show the assignments that employee was on, we can show their time cards, we can show the skills that each individual has. Also, the client is able to see any candidacies, meaning where has this person been considered as a candidate for them, not just where have they actually worked for that company. Another option is the ability for our customers to be able to view their invoices online. Over to the right, we can see if that invoice has been paid. We can see how much has been paid of the total invoice. And we can click on details to open up the details of the invoice. The client can then print a copy of their invoice themselves instead of calling us to print an invoice for them. Also, if that time had been entered online, you would be able to track the history of who created the time card, who submitted the time card, who approved the time card online if that time card was submitted online. Also being able to see any attached timesheet if you're using time card linker. Also within time cards, there are different processes that can be set up just depending on how we need to set it up for each client. This may be the employee enters their time and submits it to their customer. It may be the customer creates the time card and submits it and approves it, bypassing the employee side of the equation. We can allow the client to be able to override that time or reject that time or approve that time. Also, there are different time card formats that can be used. We can have total hours in the day, total hours in the week, time in, time out, time back, time gone, 3 different break times that we can fit in there. We can also allow the client or the employee to enter adjustments and be able to print that time card out if they want a paper copy of it. Once the client has approved the time, they can submit it into our database for us. So instead of manually entering time, the employee enters it, client approves it, it drops right into TempWorks to be paid and billed. Another option that we have with Web Center is the ability to deliver reports directly to our clients without them having to call us and ask for them. So these reports can be categorized, they can be customized, we can decide who gets what reports, and then when running a report, each report can have criteria by which it's run, so different date ranges, and this will display that information for the client. The client can then print this or export this right from here. Another option is the ability to deliver documents out to the clients. Now, these documents would be generic documents that we would be delivering to all or some of our clients. They can be customer specific, or it can be just to a group of clients. It can be to all clients. These types of documents would be things like a blank group time ticket that they can print at will. Or it might be something like a blanket certificate of insurance that they can use while they're waiting for their specific certificate of insurance. It could also be the user guide. How do I use Web Center? Deliver that to them via Web Center, and they can open that right from their Web Center. Another option that we have, if you are using the TempWorks time clock solution, is employees will go to work, they'll punch the clock, they'll punch in, they'll punch out all day, every day. The client can then go into the Web Center and be able to view all of those punches. Make corrections if there's something that is incorrect. There are warnings out here if somebody punches it out early, punches in early, different warnings that we have, as well as if there are incomplete punches. Somebody punches in for work and forgets to punch out for work. So that time clock integration is in real time, and clients are approving that time right here in Web Center. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact a representative at TempWorks. Thank you.